Ladies and gentlemen, every day we are presented with choices that shape who we are and determine the path we walk. It's easy to get caught up in the demands of life, the rush, the distractions, the noise. But there's something deeper happening within each of us, a battle that often goes unnoticed. It's the battle for our souls, and it's one we need to understand and confront. To protect our souls, we must first understand that they are constantly under attack. We may not always see it, but the forces that seek to steal, kill, and destroy are always at work. They come in many forms: temptations, distractions, negative thoughts, fear, and doubt. The enemy doesn't always announce his presence with a dramatic showdown. Often it starts with small compromises, little moments where we let our guard down, or we choose to ignore that still, small voice within us. So how do we stop attracting these attacks? The first thing we must recognize is that our minds and hearts are gateways. What we choose to allow in, what we focus on, and how we respond to the world shapes the very fabric of our souls. The thoughts we entertain, the environments we expose ourselves to, and the people we surround ourselves with all contribute to our spiritual protection or vulnerability. It's not just about avoiding obvious evils. It's about creating a mental and emotional filter that guards against anything that seeks to weaken or diminish our connection to our true purpose. When we understand that our thoughts and attitudes are like seeds, we realize that what we plant today will grow tomorrow. If we focus on negativity, fear, and doubt, we feed our soul with poison. If we fill our hearts with love, hope, and faith, we strengthen our resilience. The power to protect your soul lies in your ability to choose what you meditate on and where you direct your energy. But it's not just about what we avoid. It's also about what we actively seek. Cultivating spiritual practices like prayer, meditation, and time in reflection is like strengthening your soul's immune system. When we intentionally create space for peace and connection with something higher than ourselves, we make it harder for negative forces to gain ground. It's not just about defense. It's about proactively aligning ourselves with the source of life, strength, and purpose. Finally, the people we choose to walk with matter. Our relationships have profound influence over our well-being. We are called to surround ourselves with individuals who encourage us, challenge us, and help us grow. We can't protect our souls alone. Our collective energy, shared beliefs, and mutual support are vital to warding off external forces. When we unite with others who share similar values and faith, we create a fortified community where our souls are uplifted and strengthened. Every day we face a choice. We can let life happen to us, or we can be intentional about protecting what's most precious, our souls. The battle is real, but with awareness, intentionality, and the right connections, we can stop attracting the forces that seek to destroy us. It's not just about defense. It's about actively shaping the life we want to lead, one that is protected, purposeful, and aligned with what truly matters. Awareness of the battle. Recognize that your soul is constantly under attack, often in subtle ways, through thoughts, distractions, and external forces. Guard your mind and heart. The choices you make about what you think about and focus on determine the strength or vulnerability of your soul. The power of thought, negative thoughts, fear, and doubt can weaken your soul, while positive, hopeful, and faith-filled thoughts strengthen it. Intentional focus. You have the power to choose what you focus on, and this determines your spiritual resilience and ability to protect your soul. Create a spiritual practice. Engaging in prayer, meditation, and reflection is like strengthening your soul's immune system against negative forces. Proactive alignment, protecting your soul, isn't just about avoiding harm. It's about actively connecting with a higher purpose and source of strength. The influence of relationships. Surround yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and encourage you to grow in faith and purpose. Community matters. Building a supportive community strengthens your soul and helps you resist external pressures that seek to destroy or weaken you. Choose positivity. The energy you expose yourself to, whether through people, media, or environment, shapes your spiritual well-being. Daily intentionality. Protecting your soul requires conscious, daily choices to align with what strengthens you and intentionally guard against what harms you. Every day, whether we realize it or not, there is an ongoing battle for our hearts and minds. It's a battle that isn't always fought in ways we can easily see or understand. The attacks we face are often quiet, subtle, and insidious, weaving their way into our thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Most of the time, we don't notice until the consequences have already taken root. It may come in the form of small compromises, a negative thought that takes hold, or a shift in attitude that feels harmless at first, but slowly pulls us off course. This battle isn't one fought with visible enemies, but rather with internal struggles. Temptations that call us to drift from what we know is true, distractions that steal our peace, doubts that shake our confidence, and fears that paralyze us. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to ignore these attacks, to push them aside and keep moving, thinking they don't matter, but they do. Each small moment of letting our guard down weakens the defenses of our soul. The enemy knows that it's not about a dramatic confrontation. It's about the little moments where we forget to stay vigilant.
Our minds are the front lines of this battle. They are where our greatest victories and defeats are won. The thoughts we allow to take root, the beliefs we hold on to, and the emotions we entertain. These things shape who we are and determine the course of our lives. We may not be able to control every thought that comes to us, but we can choose which ones to nurture and which ones to discard. Without awareness, negative thoughts can grow like weeds, taking up space and slowly choking out peace, joy, and purpose. This battle is not always obvious because it often hides in plain sight. The more we get distracted by the external world, the noise, the pressure, the never-ending to-do lists, the easier it is for the inner battle to go unnoticed. But the moment we stop and truly listen, we can feel it. A quiet tug on our hearts, a whisper in our minds, an unsettling sense that something isn't quite right. It's the moment we feel drained, overwhelmed, or disconnected from the things that once brought us peace. It's a reminder that something is fighting for our attention, our focus, and ultimately, our soul. Recognizing this battle is the first step in protecting ourselves. Once we are aware, we can begin to guard ourselves against the forces that seek to lead us astray. It's not about being constantly on alert in a state of fear, but rather in a state of readiness, understanding that every thought, decision, and interaction carries weight. Awareness opens our eyes to the attacks we might otherwise overlook, helping us to stand firm and not be swayed by the things that threaten to pull us away from our true purpose. It's about being intentional with our focus, with our time, and with what we allow to influence our hearts. When we become aware, we can take the necessary steps to protect ourselves and stand strong in the face of any battle that comes our way. The mind and heart are the gateways to everything that shapes our lives. What we allow to pass through these gateways, what we choose to think about, feel, and believe has a profound impact on our well-being. The mind is where our thoughts, desires, and beliefs are formed, while the heart is where those thoughts and beliefs take root, influencing our actions, relationships, and sense of purpose. If we do not actively guard these sacred spaces, they can be easily contaminated by negative forces, distractions, and influences that pull us away from our true selves. What we think about shapes how we feel, and how we feel dictates how we act. Our thoughts create emotional responses that influence our behavior. When we think with anger or resentment, we begin to feel frustrated and upset, and our actions reflect those feelings. Alternatively, when we choose thoughts of love, kindness, and gratitude, we invite peace and calm into our hearts, and our actions become more compassionate and purposeful. The emotional responses triggered by our thoughts aren't just reactions, they're signals guiding us towards the kind of life we want to live. By becoming more aware of the thoughts that drive our emotions, we can take control of our responses instead of being controlled by them. The thoughts we entertain also have a direct impact on our relationships. Our perceptions of others are shaped by the thoughts we hold about them. If we consistently think negatively about someone, we begin to view them through a distorted lens, which can breed distrust, resentment, or misunderstanding. However, when we choose to think thoughts of kindness, empathy, and understanding, we open the door for deeper, more meaningful connections. Thoughts have the power to either build bridges or create walls in our relationships. By becoming mindful of the way we think about others, we can begin to foster healthier, more positive interactions with the people around us. Thoughts are not passive, they are constantly shaping our lives, whether we are conscious of it or not. We can choose to be the master of our thoughts, or we can allow them to control us. The key is to become aware of the thoughts that cross our minds and to intentionally guide them towards the ones that align with our values and goals. The more we practice this, the more we begin to see the transformative power of our thinking. When we learn to master our thoughts, we unlock the ability to create a life that is in alignment with our deepest desires and truest self. It's in this conscious practice of thought that we begin to realize the immense power we have to shape our own realities. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Every moment we are bombarded with countless stimuli, emails, notifications, conversations, demands that pull our attention in multiple directions. Without a clear sense of intentional focus, it becomes nearly impossible to make meaningful progress or stay aligned with our purpose. Focus is a powerful tool, but it requires deliberate effort to direct and maintain. It's not simply about concentrating on a task at hand, it's about aligning your attention with your deepest values, goals, and aspirations. Intentional focus means making a choice to actively direct your energy towards what is most important. It's the recognition that where you place your attention shapes your reality. What you choose to focus on grows, and the more attention you give to something, the more influence it has over your life. When you focus on what's important, you begin to cultivate a life filled with intention, purpose, and clarity. The distractions and noise that once seemed overwhelming lose their power because you are no longer at the mercy of them. Instead, you are consciously choosing where your mind, energy, and efforts go. Having intentional focus requires clarity about what you want. It's nearly impossible to focus with intention if you don't know what you're focusing on. This means you have to be clear on your priorities and what drives you. When you define your goals and values, focus becomes easier because you have a guide. It becomes a matter of deciding whether what you are focusing on aligns with the bigger picture of your life. If it does, great. If not, it's time to redirect your attention. Intentional focus allows you to make decisions in line with your long-term vision, rather than getting caught in the whirlwind of short-term distractions or impulses. Focus also involves the art of saying no. In a world that constantly asks for your time and energy, the ability to prioritize is essential. Saying yes to everything may seem like an opportunity for growth, but in reality, it dilutes your energy and diminishes your ability to excel in what truly matters. Intentional focus is about narrowing your attention to what truly serves your highest purpose, and this often requires making hard choices about what to leave behind. It's about understanding that your time is finite, and every moment spent on something that doesn't align with your values or goals is a moment lost. In the same way, intentional focus requires mindfulness. It's about being fully present in the moment, whether you are working, spending time with loved ones, or simply reflecting. It means resisting the urge to multitask or drift between different thoughts and activities. The more present you are, the more effective and meaningful your actions become. Focus is not just a mental exercise. It's a holistic practice that engages both your mind and your heart. It's about eliminating distractions, tuning into what truly matters, and being fully immersed in what you're doing. When you direct your focus with intention, you begin to create momentum. The more you focus on something, the more energy you give it, and the more it begins to grow and expand. Small actions compound over time, and the focused effort you put into your work, relationships, or personal growth begins to yield significant results. The power of intentional focus is that it creates clarity in your path forward. As you continue to focus on your goals and values, you begin to see opportunities that were once hidden, and obstacles become more manageable because you have the clarity to navigate around them. In essence, intentional focus is about reclaiming control over your attention and using it as a tool to create the life you desire. It's about recognizing that your focus shapes your reality and making a conscious decision to direct it in ways that serve your highest purpose. Whether it's a personal goal, a relationship, or a project, the more intentionally you focus on it, the more you nurture and strengthen it. With focus, you unlock the potential to live a life of clarity, purpose, and deep fulfillment. Creating a spiritual practice is like planting a garden of the soul. It requires intention, consistency, and a deep understanding of the nurturing that is needed to grow something meaningful. A spiritual practice is not a one-time action, but a daily commitment to connecting with something greater than ourselves. Whether it's a higher power, the universe, or a deeper sense of purpose, a spiritual practice is about intentionally setting aside time to nurture and grow that connection. It's in these moments of stillness, reflection, and prayer that we allow ourselves to align with our true essence and tap into a deeper source of peace, clarity, and strength. At the heart of a spiritual practice is the willingness to make space for something beyond the chaos of daily life. It's an act of prioritizing what truly matters over what demands immediate attention. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to forget the importance of the inner connection that keeps us grounded and focused. A spiritual practice provides a way to step back from the noise, to quiet the mind, and to listen to the voice within that speaks truth, love, and guidance. The practice can take many forms: prayer, meditation, contemplation, or simply being in nature, but the essence remains the same. It's about creating space to connect with a source that fills us with peace, purpose, and direction. The beauty of creating a spiritual practice is that it's deeply personal. There is no one-size-fits-all approach, and the path you walk will look different from anyone else's. Some may find peace in quiet meditation, others in the words of Scripture, some in mindfulness practices, and still others in acts of service. What matters is that the practice resonates with your soul, speaks to your needs, and provides you with the clarity and peace you seek. The key is to make it your own, to choose practices that connect you to your inner truth, that allow you to reflect on your life, and that help you grow spiritually. Consistency is the foundation of any meaningful spiritual practice. Just as a garden needs daily care, so too does your spiritual life. It requires regular attention, even on the days when you don't feel like it or when life gets busy. It's in these small, consistent moments that you build a connection that becomes stronger over time. A daily practice doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even a few minutes each day spent in quiet reflection, prayer, or mindful breathing can cultivate a deeper sense of connection. The key is to show up, to be present, and to create a rhythm that works for you, allowing your spiritual practice to evolve and grow with you. A spiritual practice also involves reflection and growth. It's not just about the act itself, but also about the transformation that happens within you as a result. As you engage in your spiritual practice, you begin to develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your purpose. You start to recognize the areas of your life where you need healing, growth, or change, and you allow the spiritual practice to guide you through that process. It becomes a journey of self-discovery, where each moment of reflection leads to greater clarity and wisdom. This growth is often subtle, unfolding over time, but it is deeply profound. Creating a spiritual practice can also offer comfort in times of uncertainty. When life feels overwhelming or when we face challenges, it's easy to feel lost or disconnected. A consistent spiritual practice provides a foundation during those times, a reminder that we are not alone, that there is a greater force at work, and that we have a place of refuge within ourselves. It helps us find peace in the midst of chaos, to feel grounded even when everything around us feels unsteady. In the end, the value of a spiritual practice lies in its ability to connect us to our true selves. It is a way of intentionally aligning with our deepest values, purposes, and desires. It helps us cultivate inner peace, strength, and wisdom that extends into every aspect of our lives. It's not about perfection or about following a set of rules, but about finding a way to align with something greater, to live in harmony with our values, and to nurture the spiritual connection that grounds us. Over time, this practice becomes a source of nourishment, strength, and guidance, allowing us to navigate life with a sense of purpose, clarity, and peace. Proactive alignment is the conscious effort to intentionally direct your life in a way that reflects your core values, beliefs, and goals. It's not about waiting for things to fall into place or letting circumstances dictate your path. It's about taking deliberate action to ensure that everything you do is in harmony with your highest purpose. This alignment begins with understanding what truly matters to you and actively shaping your life around it. It's the awareness that you have the power to choose how you respond to the world and the responsibility to steer your life toward what brings fulfillment and peace. When you are proactively aligned, you no longer allow life to simply happen to you. Instead, you take ownership of your decisions, your mindset, and your actions. It's a mindset that shifts from being reactive to being intentional. You wake up each day with a clear sense of direction, knowing that your choices reflect the vision you have for your life. This alignment requires deep self-awareness, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you want to go. It's about tuning into your inner voice, trusting your instincts, and making decisions that resonate with your authentic self. Proactive alignment also means recognizing that life is full of distractions, temptations, and external pressures that can pull you off course. Without a clear sense of alignment, it's easy to get swept up in the noise or in the expectations of others. But when you are aligned with your purpose, you are able to filter out the distractions and remain focused on what truly matters. You are no longer chasing fleeting desires or trying to meet the expectations of others. Instead, you are living in a way that reflects your truest self and your deepest values. This type of alignment requires intentionality in every area of life. It's not enough to simply have a vision or a goal. You must actively take steps each day to bring that vision into reality. This may mean saying no to things that don't align with your purpose or making hard decisions that require discipline and sacrifice. It's about understanding that alignment is not a passive state, but an active practice that requires constant reflection and adjustment. As you evolve, your sense of alignment may shift, and it's important to stay open to realigning when needed. Living with proactive alignment also involves cultivating resilience. There will be times when things don't go according to plan or when obstacles arise. But when you are aligned with your core values and goals, setbacks become less daunting. Instead of losing sight of your purpose, you are able to navigate challenges with a sense of clarity and determination. Proactive alignment allows you to keep your focus on the bigger picture, understanding that setbacks are part of the journey and that they can be used as opportunities for growth. Furthermore, proactive alignment fosters a deeper sense of inner peace. When you are living in harmony with your values, there's a sense of contentment that comes from knowing you are on the right path. There's no internal conflict because your actions are in line with your beliefs and desires. This sense of peace allows you to move through life with confidence and grace, even in the face of uncertainty. You are not constantly second-guessing yourself or questioning your decisions. Instead, you trust in the choices you make because they are aligned with your true purpose. Ultimately, proactive alignment is about living with intention, clarity, and purpose. It's about shaping your life in a way that reflects who you truly are and what you want to contribute to the world. It requires a commitment to self-awareness, discipline, and resilience, as well as the courage to make choices that honor your highest values. When you are proactively aligned, every step you take moves you closer to becoming the person you are meant to be, and you begin to live a life that is not only meaningful, but deeply fulfilling. Relationships are some of the most powerful forces in our lives, shaping who we are, how we perceive the world, and how we interact with others. They hold the ability to elevate us to new heights, or if toxic, to drag us down into negativity and confusion. Whether they are family ties, friendships, romantic relationships, or even professional connections, the influence of relationships is undeniable. The people we allow into our lives have a significant impact on our thoughts, behaviors, and emotional well-being. We are in many ways a reflection of the relationships we nurture, and these connections shape our identity and experience in profound ways. The influence of relationships begins with the emotional impact they have on us. Relationships, especially those that are close and meaningful, often serve as mirrors, reflecting our strengths, weaknesses, and desires. A supportive relationship can boost our confidence, inspire us to pursue our dreams, and provide a sense of belonging. On the other hand, toxic relationships can bring out our insecurities, fuel self-doubt, and create an emotional environment of fear or anxiety. The energy and dynamics of our relationships can affect our emotional health, guiding how we respond to challenges and navigate life's ups and downs. The people we surround ourselves with can either contribute to our emotional growth or hold us back from realizing our potential. Beyond emotions, relationships also influence our behaviors and decisions. The attitudes, values, and choices of those close to us often shape our own. In positive relationships, we are encouraged to make decisions that align with our best interests, to act with integrity, and to pursue goals that lead to personal fulfillment. In contrast, negative relationships can push us to make choices that are not in our best interests, sometimes leading us to compromise our values or abandon our goals in order to meet the expectations of others. The influence of relationships can subtly affect the paths we choose in life, shaping not just our actions, but the mindset that drives them. Relationships also serve as catalysts for personal growth. Every connection, whether positive or challenging, offers an opportunity for self-awareness and transformation. They force us to examine our reactions, our boundaries, and the way we communicate. In healthy relationships, we are encouraged to be the best versions of ourselves, to be honest, open, and loving. We grow through the support and encouragement of others, and we learn new ways of interacting that enhance our emotional intelligence. However, even difficult or broken relationships can teach us valuable lessons. They challenge us to establish boundaries, understand our own needs, and heal from past wounds. In this sense, relationships become mirrors of our own inner world, showing us areas where we may need healing, growth, or change. The quality of our relationships also has a profound effect on our sense of purpose and fulfillment. Strong, positive relationships are often the foundation of a meaningful life. They provide a sense of community, belonging, and shared experience that nourishes the spirit. These connections give us the strength to face life's challenges, a support system to rely on, and the encouragement to pursue our passions. In contrast, unhealthy relationships can drain our energy, leave us feeling isolated, and diminish our sense of purpose. The influence of relationships extends beyond emotional and mental states. They play a critical role in how we experience life's journey, whether it is with a sense of joy and fulfillment or with struggle and sorrow. Ultimately, the influence of relationships teaches us the importance of discernment. Not every relationship serves us in a positive way, and part of navigating life with grace and wisdom involves knowing when to nurture a relationship and when to let go. Healthy, supportive relationships are vital to personal well-being, but toxic relationships can have a detrimental impact on our mental, emotional, and even physical health. Understanding the power that relationships hold allows us to make more intentional decisions about who we surround ourselves with, ensuring that those who influence us are contributing to our growth, happiness, and well-being. The influence of relationships extends beyond the individuals we directly engage with. The energy and dynamics of our relationships ripple out into the wider world, impacting how we relate to others and how we contribute to our communities. By nurturing positive, supportive connections, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute to creating a world that fosters love, compassion, and understanding. In this way, relationships don't just shape us, they shape the world around us, creating a network of support and connection that has the potential to transform society. Community is the fabric that binds us together, providing a sense of belonging and shared purpose. It's the invisible force that shapes our identities, influences our values, and strengthens our ability to face life's challenges. Human beings are inherently social creatures, wired for connection and interdependence. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in communities that help define who we are and how we navigate the world. Whether it's the family unit, a group of friends, a workplace, or a neighborhood, community plays a pivotal role in shaping our experiences and guiding our personal growth. At its core, community offers a sense of belonging. It's the understanding that we are not alone in our struggles or triumphs and that our lives are interconnected with others. In a world that can often feel isolating, being part of a community provides comfort and reassurance. It is through these connections that we find support during difficult times and celebrate joy during moments of success. The people within our communities become our anchors, offering stability and a sense of shared responsibility. Community helps us realize that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, and in this collective bond, we find strength, encouragement, and the courage to persevere. Beyond emotional support, community offers the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. When we engage with others, we are challenged to expand our perspectives, learn new things, and adapt to different ideas and values. In a healthy community, we are constantly encouraged to evolve, to reflect on our beliefs, and to be accountable for our actions. The diversity of thought, experience, and culture within a community broadens our understanding of the world and deepens our empathy for others. We come to realize that our own experiences are only a small piece of the larger human story, and that the perspectives of others enrich our own lives in ways we might never have imagined. Community also provides a sense of purpose. When we are part of something larger than ourselves, we are motivated to contribute, to give, and to serve. Whether it's lending a helping hand, offering advice, or simply being present for someone in need, the act of giving within a community creates a deep sense of fulfillment. We are reminded that our lives have meaning when we are able to positively impact the lives of others. This sense of purpose is not always about grand gestures or major accomplishments. Often, it's the small, everyday acts of kindness and care that make the biggest difference. By participating in a community, we contribute to a collective vision, creating a ripple effect that enhances the well-being of everyone involved. In a world that is often divided by differences, community serves as a bridge that unites people across boundaries of race, culture, and belief. It fosters an environment of mutual respect and understanding where differences are celebrated rather than feared. In a strong community, diversity is not seen as a challenge to be overcome, but as a strength that enriches the collective experience. The shared values and goals that bind a community together allow individuals to work in harmony, creating a space where every voice is heard, every perspective is valued, and every person is seen as an integral part of the whole. Community also plays a crucial role in our mental and physical health. Research has shown that strong social connections can lead to lower levels of stress, greater happiness, and even longer life expectancy. People who are part of supportive communities experience a sense of security, knowing that there are others who care about their well-being. The bonds we form within communities help us navigate the ups and downs of life with resilience and grace. They remind us that we are never truly alone, and that there are always resources and support systems available to help us through difficult times. Ultimately, the impact of community extends far beyond the individual. The health and vibrancy of a community are reflected in the strength of its relationships and the collective actions of its members. When we invest in our communities, we create a ripple effect that touches not only the lives of those directly involved but also the broader society. A thriving community fosters an environment where kindness, empathy, and collaboration are the norms, making it easier for individuals to flourish. In a world where so many people feel disconnected, building strong communities becomes an act of hope, creating spaces where people can come together, support one another, and collectively work toward a better future. Choosing positivity is not simply a matter of thinking happy thoughts or trying to look on the bright side of life. It's a conscious decision to embrace an optimistic mindset, even in the face of adversity, knowing that the way we choose to perceive the world shapes our experience of it. Positivity is an attitude that requires intention and effort, particularly in a world where challenges, uncertainties, and negativity can often dominate our thoughts and conversations. It's about shifting our focus from what's wrong to what's right, from limitations to possibilities, and from fear to hope. When we choose positivity, we are deciding to take control of how we respond to the world around us. It's a practice of resilience, understanding that while we may not have control over external circumstances, we do have control over how we react to them. Life is filled with ups and downs, and it's easy to become consumed by setbacks, frustrations, or disappointments. However, by choosing positivity, we allow ourselves to see beyond the immediate challenges and focus on the opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. We stop being victims of our circumstances and start becoming active participants in shaping our reality. One of the key aspects of choosing positivity is gratitude. When we take the time to reflect on the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, we begin to shift our perspective. Gratitude helps us to see the abundance around us rather than dwelling on what's lacking. It opens our eyes to the beauty of everyday moments, the kindness of others, and the simple pleasures that often go unnoticed. Choosing gratitude, even in difficult times, can transform our mindset and remind us of all that we have, rather than focusing on what we don't. Positivity also means letting go of negativity and toxic influences. It's not just about thinking positively, but also about protecting our mental space from negativity. This can involve distancing ourselves from people, environments, or situations that drain our energy or bring us down. It's about setting boundaries that allow us to maintain a mindset that serves our well-being. This doesn't mean we ignore or deny the realities of life, but rather that we choose to focus on what we can control, the way we engage with the world, and the way we choose to process our experiences. Choosing positivity is an act of self-care, a way to preserve our mental and emotional health in a world that can sometimes be overwhelming. Another important aspect of choosing positivity is the power of language. The words we use, both with ourselves and with others, have a profound impact on our mindset. Negative language can reinforce feelings of doubt, fear, and limitation, while positive language can inspire hope, action, and growth. By being mindful of the words we speak, we begin to shift our internal dialogue to one of encouragement and possibility. Instead of saying, "I can't," we might say, "I'll try my best," or "I'll figure it out." In doing so, we create an environment where growth is not only possible, but expected. Our words become affirmations of our ability to rise above challenges and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead. Choosing positivity is also about focusing on the present moment. Often we allow worries about the future or regrets from the past to cloud our judgment and drain our energy. By choosing to stay present and fully engaged in the here and now, we free ourselves from the weight of unnecessary stress. The present moment is where life truly unfolds, and it's in this space that we can find joy, peace, and clarity. When we choose to embrace the present, we stop dwelling on things we can't change and start fully appreciating what we can influence in the moment. In choosing positivity, we also choose to believe in our own power. We acknowledge that we have the capacity to overcome challenges, to adapt to change, and to create the life we want. This belief in ourselves fuels our determination, resilience, and perseverance. Even when faced with obstacles, we are more likely to see them as temporary setbacks rather than insurmountable barriers. Positivity empowers us to take action, make decisions, and move forward with confidence, knowing that we are capable of navigating whatever comes our way. Choosing positivity doesn't mean that life will always be easy or that we will never experience difficulty. It means that we choose to approach life's challenges with a mindset that seeks solutions, growth, and opportunity. It's about choosing to rise above negative circumstances and not allowing them to define us. By adopting this mindset, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, better relationships, and a life that is more aligned with our true desires. In choosing positivity, we not only improve our own lives, but also inspire and uplift those around us, creating a ripple effect of hope and empowerment. Daily intentionality is the practice of living with purpose and mindfulness every single day. It's about being deliberate in our actions, thoughts, and decisions, rather than going through life on autopilot. It requires us to wake up each day with a clear sense of what we want to achieve, how we want to feel, and the kind of energy we want to bring into the world. When we live with intentionality, we move through life with focus, direction, and clarity. We recognize that each day is a precious opportunity, and by making thoughtful choices, we ensure that we're aligning our actions with our values, desires, and goals. Living with daily intentionality means being conscious of how we spend our time and where we direct our attention. In today's world, distractions are abundant, and it's easy to get swept up in the chaos of external demands. However, intentionality gives us the power to take back control. It means taking the time to reflect on what truly matters and intentionally deciding where we invest our time and energy. This approach helps us prioritize what brings us joy, fulfillment, and growth rather than wasting time on things that don't serve us. By setting clear intentions for our day, we can better manage our responsibilities and avoid getting caught up in unnecessary busyness. Intentionality also involves being mindful of the present moment. It's easy to get lost in our thoughts, worries, or distractions, but when we live intentionally, we choose to be fully present in whatever we are doing. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, working on a project, or simply enjoying a quiet moment alone, we give our full attention to the task at hand. This mindfulness enhances our experiences, deepens our connections, and helps us get the most out of each moment. Instead of rushing through life, we slow down and savor the richness of the present. Another crucial aspect of daily intentionality is self-awareness. To live intentionally, we must first understand ourselves, our strengths, weaknesses, desires, and goals. Self-awareness allows us to make choices that align with our values and lead to personal growth. It encourages us to reflect on our actions and decisions, to recognize patterns that may not be serving us, and to adjust course when necessary. Living with intentionality involves regularly checking in with ourselves, asking whether our actions are aligned with our deeper purpose, and whether they are contributing to the life we want to create. Daily intentionality also requires discipline and consistency. It's not just about having grand plans or setting big goals. It's about making small, consistent efforts every day to move toward them. Intentionality is about creating habits that support our growth and well-being, whether that's exercising regularly, nurturing our relationships, or dedicating time to learning. It's about building a routine that fosters productivity and well-being while also leaving room for rest and relaxation. The key to intentional living is consistency, showing up for ourselves every day no matter how we feel, and making choices that move us in the direction of our dreams.